Coach, I know Cepho was medically cleared in June. Was there any point before that where you started becoming confident that he was going to be good to go this fall?
Well, there's always, I talk to the trainers that would say every day about all our guys, but Cepho was always on the list. He was making all the benchmarks of how that progresses. Going through, this is the 7th one I've gone through as a head coach. It's funny, I don't remember ever a Liz Frank back when I played or any other time. It's kind of a new injury type, so to speak, in a way. Maybe it was just a broken foot then, they didn't know exactly how to fix it correctly. But everybody that I've dealt with, they've all had different scenarios. But the good thing about it, he had one pin go in, it was a clean break. You know, when you have 2 pins or so in there, I've had problems with those guys being able to get back on time. But he's made all his benchmarks, he's done everything he's asked. You know, he even trimmed down some more as far as lost a little body weight, gained a little more muscle. So he took advantage of the situation. So he's going in great strides. We have no issues so far. I don't even know if that's wood, but I need to knock on wood for sure.
On Coach Mac, or excuse me, on Cepho, can you talk a little bit about what his return means for the confidence and attitude of the team in general?
Well, I think you can just, they elected him a captain again, you know, and that was very impressive. You know, he's a 3-year captain. That's only been done twice in the history. The last time was 1893. So it's been a long time in the past that someone's felt that way about a young man leading them. So that's huge. I think that answers the question on the leadership side of it. And then the football side of it, you know, he's broke 75 records. He'll make about 15 or 20 more this year. Our football team has caught up with him. You know, as the quarterback and the head coach, you always take the brunt of everything, and then you always take all the good things too, the accolades, which all the accolades aren't really yours, and all the brunt of it's not really yours. And so I think that at the quarterback position, being a young man that's kind of carried everybody on his shoulders and always battled and be a very, very physical player. He's extremely mentally tough too, that the guys respect him, and I look for him to have an excellent year. You know, his sophomore year, he threw the ball well. Last year, he was running the ball really well. He had hurt his shoulder where he couldn't really throw during the week, so that threw off his accuracy, even though he's the most accurate passer in the history of this school. I think that this year he'll put it all together and have a phenomenal year and walk out of here as where he should with what he's earned and with victories that he needs to get. And I'm excited to see him do it.
Front, the offensive and defensive lines in terms of kind of catching up to where you want it to be in the development along those fronts.
Right. Well, offensively, you know, in 2014, we had the least amount of sacks in the Pac-12. Last year, we had the most sacks in the Pac-12. A lot of that was predicated to injuries. Quite a few injuries, most I've ever seen on an offensive line since I've been a head coach. Vice versa, you can look at Stanford. The year before, Stanford got a lot of guys hurt in 2014. Didn't have quite as good a year. Last year, 0. They kept the same 5 offensive linemen the entire year, and the continuity is big. So we have Jeremy Irwin coming back, who I think is an excellent player. You know, he could never really get over 285, but you really want him to be in the 300s to be able to anchor. He's now 308, doing really well. You know, we have all the other guys have started multiple starts. We've been out there recruiting for, you know, we've been out for basically 3.5 years recruiting. So we have really 3 full classes in, 3.5 full classes, so to speak, because everything was halfway done when I got here. We kind of scraped it for the first year. We got some good players that last spring, that last part. In 2.5 weeks of recruiting, we got a few good players that y'all talked about in here that are pretty special guys. I think the thing that has helped us the most is we revamped our recruiting office. And when I first got here, they didn't have that. We didn't have the resources for it. It's what I wanted to do. And Rick and I talked about it in depth about 22 months ago. And he got the resources. He went out and raised it. He's a phenomenal fundraiser. He tremendously backs us and what we do. He understands it. He gets it. And so when we revamped that, and we went from 1 person in our recruiting office to 7, it makes a big difference. And then our coaches have done a great job. The other side of it is when the young men get here on this campus and they see this facility, along with the most beautiful campus in America, it's not me just saying that. We've voted that a bunch of times. When they go down on Pearl Street, see Pearl Street, enjoy all that. I think that that kind of puts the icing on the cake. But when you walk into a $156 million football complex that they've never seen anything like it before, also makes it special. So I think it's a combination of all of it, but I think the process has gone, and that's why you're seeing all of this. And as we have more success on the football field this year, then it even jump to another level.